The Dwyane Wade era in Chicago came to a swift and inglorious end Sunday as he and the Bulls came to terms on a contract buyout, according to Casey Johnson of the Chicago Tribune. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and Brian Windhorst reported the Cleveland Cavaliers, San Antonio Spurs, Miami Heat and Oklahoma City Thunder are all on Wade's radar as possible landing spots once he clears waivers Wednesday. Until Wade settles upon a new team, fantasy basketball owners can't reasonably project his $201,718 outlook. He's likely looking at a smaller role than he had in Chicago regardless of where he ends up, but how much his offensive responsibilities shrink will depend on where he chooses for his next destination. On the off chance you have your draft before Wade signs with a new team, drop him down into 9th or 10th round territory, but recognize that he posted top 75 value this past season with the Bulls despite playing just 29.9 minutes per game. For those remaining in Chicago, Wade's departure opens a massive void on offense that needs to be filled. With Wade, Jimmy Butler, Rajon Rondo, Taj Gibson, Doug McDermott and Michael Carter-Williams all having left the organization since February, the Bulls head into the $201,718 season without 6 of their top 9 minutes getters from last year. Those 6 players averaged 78.4 points and 65.4 shot attempts per game between them, which means the Bulls effectively need to replace 3/4 of their offensive output. Read more fantasy fallout from the Carmelo Anthony trade. Zach LaVine figures to be the primary beneficiary from Wade's departure, but his timetable to return from a torn ACL remains unclear. While he described himself as very far along in the progress during Media Day Monday, per Bulls reporter Sean Highkin, team executive vice president of basketball operations John Paxson declined to give an update on when he's expected to return, aside from saying it's a pretty safe bet he won't be ready to go on opening night. If your league has an IR spot, LaVine will make for a great latter-round pick, as he could tout top 50 upside by the time the fantasy playoffs roll around. Those without an IR spot or in rotisserie formats may not want to burn a roster spot on him, though. While LaVine remains sidelined, the Bulls are otherwise largely devoid of proven offensive talent. Nikola Mirotic, who came to terms with the team on a 2-year, $27 million contract Sunday, per Shams Charania of Yahoo Sports, has been infuriatingly inconsistent during his 3-year NBA career. Starting center Robin Lopez has never averaged more than 11.3 points in a season. 6-year veteran Quincy Pondexter missed the entire 201,617 season after undergoing knee surgery and has a career average of 5.3 points per game. Go further down the list, and the factory of sadness only gets more depressing. Mirotic and Lopez tout mid and latter-round upside, respectively, but no other Bulls veteran deserves your attention in fantasy drafts. As Chicago enters the first stage of a long, painful rebuild, expect the team to rely heavily upon its young players instead of vets. Chris Dunn, who the Bulls acquired alongside LaVine in the Butler trade, will have every opportunity to take the starting point guard job and run with it. Previous point guard of the future Cameron Payne underwent foot surgery in early September and will be sidelined for 3 to 4 months, leaving Jerian Grant as Dunn's main competition for the gig. The Providence product averaged just 3.8 points per game on 37.7% shooting as a rookie with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but the Bulls don't have much of a choice here. As such, he'll be worth drafting with one of your final 1 or 2 picks. Denzel Valentine also becomes an intriguing latter-round flyer in the wake of Wade's departure, as the Bulls desperately need long-range shooting in their starting lineup. Valentine knocked down just 35.1% of his triples as a rookie this past season, and was somehow even worse during the Las Vegas Summer League in July, but he may enter the year as Chicago's starting 2 guard regardless. The Michigan State product's value is likely to plummet once LaVine returns, but there's enough earlysis and upside here to spend one of your final few picks on him. Outside of Dunn and Valentine, Chicago's backcourt has the makings of a fantasy wasteland. Grant and Justin Holiday could each emerge as earlysis and options, particularly for those in deeper leagues, but neither touts enormous upside. David Nwaba should be left on the waiver wire in standard 10 or 12-team leagues. Paul Zipser isn't likely to provide much value outside of points and three-pointers, making him nothing more than a long-range specialist in deep leagues. With Wade gone, the Bulls look like a team, largely to avoid in fantasy outside of Lavin, Muradic, Lopez, Dunn, and Valentine. All average draft position info via Fantasy Pros. All rankings via Basketball Monster are based on NINA category leagues.